soaring across the Golden Gate Bridge and into the Bay Area tonight. We're coming to you live from Oakland. We've got an electric crowd here in Golden State's Oracle Arena. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. It's all about the Western Conference. That's where the action is today as the Golden State Warriors get ready to battle. And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, Kevin, Klay Thompson continues to be happy with his role on the Warriors.
Thanks, David. That's the mindset you have to have. In the end, winning titles should be the ultimate goal. And both these teams can go deep into their benches. Chris, what's it like to play on a stacked team? A team that has a huge number of players that can start in a lot of teams in the league, but they have to come off the bench.
It just relieves a lot of the pressure. As starters, you want to try to get a lead or play well, and you hope the bench comes in and just holds off the next team or comes in with a nice pace. But when you're playing with a great team, you can actually hope that bench comes in and do better than you. You can actually hope that bench comes in and kind of raises the pace on that other team. But most importantly, what those benches do, and I know for me in Sacramento, they really keep the integrity of the team in practice every day because they're out there beating the A-team. So when they put on those special jerseys that everyone hates or has to flip their jersey inside out and go up against the starters, they're playing with that confidence that they play with every game. And so you have to be prepared in practice. And so it makes every day you get better, not just on the game day. So for me, being on those teams with great benches helps you more in practice every day, which sets a culture of winning more so than just in the game.
That's an excellent insight. Here's the starting group for Houston. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. The two pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. And it's Capella in at the center, filling out the middle. Paul outside. Harden outside. Anderson a screen on Curry. Here's Harden. And Durant sends it back.
Durant covers a ton of ground with this limb, using his wingspan to wipe away shots.
Julia the pass to Durant. Outside for Curry. Lock at 6. Such a wide open look.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't beat him up on the perimeter.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
To the wing on the left. To the paint. Capella with the bucket.
Even with the suffocating defense, Capella keeps his composure, sinking these interior looks rather effortlessly.
Curry kicks to Durant. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Durant's got his first bucket of the night.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Ariza. Paul with the 3. That doesn't fall either. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight.
No flow to their offense at all yet. I mean, just 1 for 5 from the floor to start the game.
It's Curry outside. It's rebounded by Houston. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, Chris Paul signing the big contract this past offseason, and you knew he'd end up with one of the biggest deals out there, and his impact on a team goes far beyond just stats.
First one falls for him. Well, Greg, Houston wanted Chris Paul, and they got their man. One of the bigger surprises, certainly, of the offseason.
Yeah, and without Paul on this roster, this team isn't in the conversation for winning. You need him to keep your window of winning open, and he is just that impactful and makes everyone on the floor better.
And Paul drills both of them.
And one of the surprise moves of this past offseason was Chris Paul moving to Houston, joining James Harden to become one of the strongest backcourts in our league. Kicked off a feeling that Houston would be a force this season.
Now, here's Thompson. Kicks to Green. Beyond the arc. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. 6 points for Draymond Green.
Okay, 4 for 5 from the floor right now. Wasted no time getting this offense rolling.
And Anderson kicks to Harden. And some nice passing there by Houston. Tips it. Capella inside. Goes up against Pachulia. And it's Capella missing.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And you know, Greg, many thought that Chris Paul may take a look at San Antonio, and he did, but Houston was too enticing a chance to pass up.
It's certainly a distinctive third chapter in Paul's career. He's always been criticized for not going deep in the playoffs, and saw Houston as maybe his best bet to make a deep run.
Now here's Durant. Harden missing his last shot, and there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That is his first foul of the game. Thompson with it. 5 on the clock. Pachulia dishes to Green. Here's Durant. Right through the D for the layup. Durant's got his second bucket of the night.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
On the wing, Harden. Capella, the pass to Harden. Lets the three fly. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
I mean, Kevin, even with the D up on him, I mean, it's unfair. He buries these shots consistently. Harden is just better offense beating solid defense.
Now, here's Thompson. And that one's good. Durant.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Paul with the ball. Picked up by Thompson. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Well, you just watch the way that Klay Thompson shoots, and you're surprised when the ball doesn't go in.
I mean, one thing with Klay, too, in his shot, he believes it's always going to go in. More importantly, so does his teammates. And he's got that shooter's mentality where he just will continue to trust in his mechanics. And I don't think he gets enough credit for just how hard he works to maintain that shot. And despite having been in this league what seems like forever, Paul still goes to the line at a fairly high clip.
It's Durant on the wing over Ariza. Durant, no good.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
And Paul gets it to go in.
Not an easy finish right there, but a beautiful move to give himself just enough space to get in close and knock it down.
Curry kicks to Durant. Get it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
Well, he is now 4 of 5 from the field, already making a difference for his team on offense.
Here's Harden on the wing. Capella dishes to Harden. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And last season, Harden just put up some incredible numbers all across the board. His assists were league leading, which nobody saw coming. He didn't have a big drop in his own scoring, even as he was creating so much more for others.
Rockets have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Free throw good. James Harden. And with Harden, as you said, Chris, nobody saw his assist totals coming except maybe his coach, Mike D'Antoni, one of the Coach of the Year candidates, certainly all season long with what he did in that 55-win Rockets season. When Harden heard what his coach expected, Chris, he laughed it off.
Yeah, and part of it was the system, but Harden he found his groove. I mean, you think about just the seasons he's had. He's just played incredible, and he's going to have to bring those turnover numbers down. Not used to playing with the ball and not used to being in that position that much. Expect the turnover numbers to come down this season.
There's the pick. Green, the screen. Here's Durant. Chris Paul grabs the miss.
You got to give the D credit there. It affected him. He didn't have much room to get the shot off.
Ariza kicks to Anderson. Great D that time from Durant.
The active defense making things very hard on him as he goes in for the layup.
Thompson in the corner. Knocks down the three ball. Thompson's got 5 now.
I mean, you feel like Klay could hit these shots blindfolded. Such a great sense of where he is on the court at all times.
Ariza kicks to Harden. Pass to Paul. Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. At the elbow, Paul bounces high off the rim and drops. Now just a 1-point Warrior lead.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Green, the screen. Feeds it to Curry. Back to Green. He dishes it to Thompson. Green with a screen for Thompson. Curry outside. No good that time. Paul with the defensive effort. Out to the right wing. Lets the three fly. Again, the miss by Paul. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off the loss to the Spurs. Outside Durant. And again, no good by Golden State. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. It's tipped. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. There's the three. Again, Durant missing. Rockets trail. In the corner, Harden. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 8 points for James Harden.
Oh, and that catch and shoot, Jay, from Harden is unblockable. Just quickly shooting off the pass.
Curry kicks to Green. Back to Curry, looking to end the run. Here's Thompson. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Thompson's got it all tied up now for the Warriors. Paul with the ball, and Curry picks him up defensively. Anderson the screen. Paul with the three, and again it's the Rockets from deep.
This is an amazing run he's on. It's like he's been the only guy on the floor this quarter.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Pachulia. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Pachulia's got his first bucket in this one. And Houston calls their first time out of the game. Here, matched up against the Golden State Warriors, is how they're going to tip off the new season.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversations. What's that been like?
Oh, it's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciated what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast. Well, it had been a little bit of a bumpy ride for Mike D'Antoni before coming to Houston. He had underwhelming results in New York and LA before taking time off from coaching, but he's found great success since coming back with the Rockets.
Gentlemen, roof shots.
And the first one drops. And when the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni, there wasn't a lot of fanfare. But this has turned out to be one of the best fits in his coaching career. In fact, he was the NBA Coach of the Year last season.
Yeah, you never know how a coach will mesh with the team, and D'Antoni has fit in perfectly here. He made some changes early on and has the Rockets as a great offensive powerhouse. Even has the team playing some defense. I mean, something his teams have never been known for.
He hits both from the stripe. Well, the Rockets, Chris, aren't known for their defense, but it probably gets a worse rap than it should. They allow a lot of points, but it's mostly due to their pace of play.
And part of that is just a viewpoint from the past few years. I mean, Harden says he's recommitted himself to the defensive end, which has helped set the tone. Defense does just enough to let their offense win the game. Well, last season, certainly it was one to remember for Eric Gordon. I mean, he was once a forgotten player, and that happened because of his injury. But he came back to be one of the key parts in the fantastic season for the Rockets.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
84%. That's what he was able to convert on a season ago from the line.
And he knocks down the first one. And with Gordon, the Rockets signing him did fly under the radar just a bit. He had been injured so much, and people didn't really know what to expect, mostly because nobody knew, with all those injuries, if he could play a full season. Well, he played 75 games last year.
Yeah, Kevin, and he came off the bench as well, which was perfect fit for that team and for him. I mean, he was able to find his groove, and he was able to put up big scoring numbers. He's always been nice offensively, but he got to show it off last year.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
From deep, Iguodala. It's rebounded by Houston.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Here is Mbah a Moute. Great tee that time from Green.
A hand right in his face on the layup. Excellent defense that time in the paint.
McCaw kicks to Iguodala. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Iguodala's got his first basket.
Oh, and squaring up is Iguodala. Nice follow through on the release.
Outside Gordon. Now here's Tucker. He's covered by Iguodala. And here's Tucker. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. To the inside. Livingston, that's good. And now it's a three-point Warrior lead.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Paul kicks to Nene. On the wing, Gordon. And this is his second trip to the line in the game. And the first one drops. You watch the way Eric Gordon releases the ball from deep, and you just have to love it. He gets it going, Chris, all in one motion, and you can see the power in his legs when he rises up.
Oh, well, Gordon for his career has always been a great three-point shooter. The Rockets made the most of his ability to shoot the three from deep with their style of play. He's right near the top of the league in three-point shots per game.
He's off on the second.
And when he's healthy, Gordon is extremely effective, an incredible scorer who fills up the stat sheet.
Picked by West. Here's McCaw. No good with the triple.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Here's Young, and that one no good to start him off on the night. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Rockets lead by 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. And Kevin Durant, always in the gym, always working to improve. We asked him where that inspiration and passion originated.
Comes from me being 8 years old and me just saying I want to be the best player. You know, first off, at 8 years old, you want to be the best player in your neighborhood, and that's where it comes from. Just always want to be the best, and no matter where I'm playing at. And if I keep working each and every year, I've gotten better. You know, if I continue to just keep working, I've seen improvements.
Year-by-year improvements until he became the best player in the league and won an MVP. Now, the challenge, Greg, is to get back to that level after the injuries. Obviously, I think we all feel it is possible for him.
And you're absolutely right, Kevin. I mean, he's definitely proven in terms of the talent, the skill, and athleticism. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is, does he have the heart and drive and that competitive spirit to be considered still among the very best?
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And guys, for the Rockets, what jumps out to you from a numbers standpoint?
I mean, you saw it. That barrage of threes has them grooving here after one.
Well, there's not enough defensive pressure on the perimeter. We'll see in the second quarter if that gets correct.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Chris Paul and Gordon are the backcourt pair. Nene is out there with Luke Mbamute. And it's Tucker in at the 3. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Houston Rockets are one of the most explosive scoring teams in the league. Defense has been a shortcoming in the past. Coach Mike D'Antoni said we have some good individual defenders. If the rest of them just try, well, that's the plan. Kevin?
Offense is what the Rockets are all about, D.A. You know that. Coach D'Antoni definitely focuses on this part of the game more than defense. And one thing that everyone was concerned about with the Warriors was that they had lost too much on defense when they signed Durant. Ended up not being the case at all.
Not at all. It took them a few weeks to gel, but they went right back to being a top defensive team. And when you look at Durant, his play, he was one of the best two-way players in the league that past season. And he still has the defense that could win them games, even if their offense is struggling.
First one falls for him.
And no matter what, one of the big positives they can take away from this game is how well they've performed at the line.
And Paul drills both of them. Well, we talk so much about what it's like on the floor, Chris, but I wonder what it was like off the floor when you were on the bench watching the team play and what was going through your head and mind. What did you and your teammates talk about as you were on the bench taking a rest and watching the game go on?
It depends on which game. You know, if you're in L.A. and you see, Eddie Murphy and Rihanna walk in, you're going to say, hey, look at Beyonce and Jay over there. Or, you know, if you're watching a great play and you see a guy dunk on your teammate, you're not going to get too excited, but you're going to whisper to your teammate, man, did you see that? That's crazy. Or, you know, you're pumping up guys because they've been working so hard in practice, and it's a guy who's getting his first time to kind of get in and get a good run. So you're cheering him on. And so being on the bench, you know, it's a lot of fun. You have to stay focused and ready to re-enter the game. But part of that job on the bench is to keep the energy of the bench, and that's to keep guys encouraged, to be loose, to have fun. And so it's a lot of fun being on the bench. It's more fun when you're winning than losing, but a lot of fun being on the bench encouraging guys.
Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And this is where Livingston makes his money. Tremendous mid-range game.
Look, if you let Shaun Livingston get to the free throw line and in, I mean, you might as well just be a layup. He has become lights out with that nice turnaround jumper from that range. Hand in his face, doesn't matter.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Livingston. And Livingston is incredibly lethal from that mid-range spot. He's perfected it, especially, Chris, since he likes to drag the smaller guards down to that range.
Oh, yeah. Livingston knows where his spots are on the floor, and he goes right to them. It's a big reason why his shooting percentage is high for a point guard. He's just a very smart player who knows how to make the most of his game.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation to Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
And so it's Golden State with it, following Chris Paul's three-point attempts. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
The 11-footer, count it. Paul's got 19 points.
Yeah, and it only takes a few shots for Paul to get going. The D has got to be worried.
Livingston kicks to Iguodala. It's Young on the wing. There's the three. And no good. The Rockets go the other way with it. At the elbow, it's Gordon. Here is Mbah a Moute. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
He lives for these type of battles on the boards. Doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
And Young kicks to Livingston. Pass to Young. Golden State moving it around. Fires from deep. Here's West. Tries again, and it's good on the layup. West has got his first points of the game.
And look at that. That's just a great all-around play. Getting into position for the offensive rebound. Finishing strong on the putback.
A steal. Here's Iguodala, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net. Houston's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land, 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Gordon with the screen for Paul. Outside Gordon. Nene, the screen, and it's sent back by West. They retain possession. Here's Tucker. Great D that time from Iguodala. The Warriors leading. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Chris Paul picks up that one.
Well, you know, some people say Andre Iguodala is on the decline as an offensive option, but his impact on the floor is still clear as day. He keeps the ball moving with his great spacing. He keeps that tempo and that pace, and he's still a strong finisher because he only takes high percentage shots that he's comfortable with.
Two shots.
And that one misses. And with Iguodala, he isn't going to be a double-digit scorer again, it seems, the former All-Star. But you know what, Chris? He is still incredibly valuable, so productive just with his floor presence.
Iguodala is a perfect example, Kevin, of a guy who can change the game without even putting up a lot of stats. The defense that he brings to the table, that isn't slowing down either.
And he's good on the second.
Oh, he turns it up. And though Iguodala has become a long-range shooting threat, he still managed to struggle from the line.
Now here's Ariza, looking for his first basket still in this one. Harden gets to Ariza. Another miss by Houston. Warriors have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. That's good from West on the assist by Curry. And the Warriors lead by 4.
Recognizing the defensive imbalance, Curry quickly locates the open man.
And Steph Curry with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
Ariza outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. To halt the run, and Durant with the block. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Quick shot there, and it's off target. And it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
Warriors leading by 4. And Thompson kicks to Durant. Off target with his 3. Iguodala against Ariza. Dishes it to Harden. A 3 ball. No good. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. Iguodala with it. He's picked up by Ariza. Thompson sets the pick for Iguodala. Drills the three-pointer. Iguodala's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Oh, you had to close out hard on Iguodala. He's made himself a true threat from beyond the arc.
Harden against Curry. Lets it go from 11. No good off the back of the rim.
He'll be beating himself up if they can't come back because he is not carrying his weight at the offensive end.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
Nice job coming off that screen. And 11 points for James Harden.
Oh, and that's his first 3 of the second quarter, 3rd overall this game.
Harden against Curry. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. A chance here to take a moment and compare the front court and back court scoring on the night for the Rockets.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this backcourt has kept them in the game.
Shoot 2.
And he can't get the first one. And Chris, we often talk about what makes a good coach or a good player, but to change it up a bit, what do you think is an aspect of being a good general manager in the NBA?
I think being a good manager is about a couple of things. Knowing how to manipulate and deal with the salary cap so that you can bring the best players around each other, but the skill sets have to fit. Best players aren't just what a guy has done in the past or how many points he scored or how many records that he's broken. It's about, does his skill set fit with another player? So you don't want 2 guys that are ball handlers on the same team, or you don't want 2 guys that need a ball handler to facilitate, and therefore you don't have anyone to penetrate. So someone that knows how to weave and interject different skill sets that will complement each other, I think is the type of GM that is successful in this league.
Sometimes easier said than done, though, right?
I think most times easier said than done because a lot of GMs have some great ideas, but they need someone else to help in that trade or a player that's willing. And so, you know, you have a lot of moving factors right there. They haven't been able to count on his scoring tonight, but still, here they are in the league.
Gordon for 3. Cans it from downtown. Now just a 2-point Warrior lead.
And Gordon has always been a lethal perimeter shooter. When he gets a clean look, he doesn't hesitate pulling the trigger.
Here's Durant. That one good for 2. Durant's got 10 points in the game. Rockets trail by 4. Now here's Gordon. He's got 6. Shot off the screen, and Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Eric Gordon. And that's 13 points for James Harden. Curry passes to Green. West against Capella. Durant dishes to Green. Back to Durant. A 3-ball. Again, Durant missing.
As he continues to rack up the misses from three-point range, he still appears undeterred. He's going to keep firing from out there.
Now Gordon. Screen by Capella. Harden with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. Capella with a screen on Green. Again, the miss by Gordon.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Green kicks to Durant. Here's Thompson. 9 points in the game so far. Curry outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 3 assists tonight.
No, he doesn't need much room. Steph there with the prime-time facial.
Lob pass to Capella. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Good on the shot. And it's a 7-point Warrior lead.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Anderson the screen. Capella gets to Ariza. Beyond the arc. Harden can't hit.
And offensively, they've gotten stuck on the perimeter, falling in love with the jumper.
Ariza passes to Harden. 1:32 left in the first half. Ariza kicks to Capella. Gordon a screen. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. James Harden is second.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
The Warriors making a switch here. Pachulia is checked in. Now here's Green. 6 points for him. And good that time. Durant's got the lead up to 9 now for the Warriors.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Outside Gordon. Back to Harden. Anderson the screen. Here's Ariza. That one's off. Still out of sync.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back. You know there's no way that's going to get blocked. He just has to rise up and drain.
Curry against Harden. Ariza kicks to Capella. Gordon a screen from downtown. Harden can't hit.
Yeah, and that three-point shot, it really has looked awful here in the second quarter. It hasn't stopped him from attempting them, but it's time to maybe find something else to do. Yeah, a big part of this run here has been their ability to score from mid-range.
Gordon with it. He has 6. Screen by Capella. Gordon kicks to Harden. Again, the miss by Harden.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own, I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
That'll do it for the first half. Warriors ahead. They lead by 13. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Draymond, a strong first half offensively for the team. What are you doing right?
I I mean, we're just letting them show us what's open. You know, you got to just make sure we stay patient on the offensive end and let them tell us what play to make, where the open man is. We've been doing a great job of that. We've got to keep it up in the second half.
Yeah, the defense leads you to the open man. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And welcome to
presented
halftime.
by
Hey, hey, what a fantastic time of the year. NBA season getting underway. Hey, hey.
I'm excited. I am really excited. I am really, really excited, honey.
A tremendous start for Kevin Durant. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Hey, big fella, what's your take on Golden State so far?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
We welcome you back to the beautiful Bay Area with the lights of Oakland illuminating the evening. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Oh, well, he's a tricky cover. He does a good job of sensing the defense, making the right move at the right time.
Now it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Warriors leading by 13. And Chris, you were only briefly with the Warriors at the start and the end of your career, but you had plenty of big moments with that club. Any stand out to you as a favorite?
Oh, well, I think the playoffs, almost averaging a triple-double in the playoffs, for me, it was something very special. Going behind the back on my good friend Sir Charles, of course, is one of the first experiences I had there, and also my first NBA game. I mean, being in front of those crazy fans in Oakland, that atmosphere was unlike any other, and jump ball and winning and scoring my first bucket. So many special moments there. Rookie of the Year, being awarded that with my father at center court there at that arena is something I'll never forget.
Inside, we've got Draymond at the 4 and Pachulia to his side. The sharpshooters Curry and Thompson are at the 1 and the 2. And it's Durant in at the 3 slot. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. And here is Curry. Thompson in the corner. Green, the screen. And it's Thompson again missing.
Some very slack defending, playing with fire to leave him that open beyond the arc.
Back to Paul. Here's Harden on the wing. Capella with a screen on Thompson. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Ariza, and that one is good. Ariza's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for Houston.
It's clear to me. Is it clear to you that Ariza feels at home in the post? I mean, just working his way inside and nailing these quality shots.
Green, the screen. Durant kicks to Green. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now, here's Capella. 6 points for him. And the dunk by Capella.
Well, what you know about Paul, he sees everything as it develops. That time he hits the wide open man.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. Curry kicks to Durant. Over Ariza. Again, Golden State.
Unbelievable. This guy is completely in a zone.
Paul dishes to Capella. Harden against Curry. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Oh, they can't miss their third make in a row to begin the half.
And Chris, when you see Harden coming down the lane at you, there is a very short list of players who can instill that much fear. Pretty much him, Westbrook and LeBron. Each have their own style, and Harden's might be the most refined of all of them.
Well, that's why he gets to the line so much. Speed, his handles, his ability to pull back on the three, his Euro step. When Harden gets going downhill like that, you just don't have an answer for him.
And Chris, many thought that after the Rockets let Dwight Howard go, they would have a slight rebuilding phase. Turns out they were just reloading and were a surprise contender last season.
But they did sneak up on some teams with how well they played early on. Front office did a great job retooling the team, great coaching job. But now with Paul in the mix, they're one of the scariest teams, at least on paper, in the league.
Now here's Green. He's got 9. Shoots over Capella, and the shot falls short this time.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Here's Harden on the wing, guarded by Green.
And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
Two shots.
Free throw good from Harden.
And they've been a completely different team at the line here tonight. Maybe they're finally turning a corner when it comes to their free throw shooting.
Nene, he's checked in for the Rockets. And Mbah a Moute comes in for Trevor Ariza. And both free throws good for James Harden.
What makes Harden so special is his explosiveness. This guy can just turn it on whenever he wants to on offense.
Curry kicks to Pachulia. Picked by Pachulia. And Mbah a Moute against Durant. Again, Durant missing. And last season, the Rockets' offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. Two great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense.
Here's Thompson following the score by Houston. Off the screen. And the Warriors miss again. Paul outside. There's the feed to Harden. There's the dish to Mbah a Moute. Anderson the screen. Anderson with the screen for Paul. Lets it go with a 3. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Mbah a Moute.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
This is a beautiful thing. They are really playing to the maximum potential of their abilities right now on offense. A scary place to be in if you're the D.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
You know, something we've seen a few times that the Warriors went through last season is super teams needed time to gel. Not the same incredible start for the Warriors. They weren't able to match their 73-win season. But who cares when you bring home that chip?
Different look here for the Warriors. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Pachulia. Young comes in for Kevin Durant. McCaw, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Tucker's checked in. Now here's Iguodala. He's got 8. And again, it's the Warriors missing. As the games went on, however, the Warriors looked more and more cohesive as a team. Took some bumps getting there, but it was worth the wait.
Well, we saw the same thing in Miami with LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, or in Boston with KG, Pierce, and Allen, and so on. So finding your roles and figuring out who needs to do what, it's a big part of NBA basketball. Warriors were not exempt from that, even with Durant.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And a look here at the shot chart for Durant.
And this is an overall excellent offensive performance for him. He's not afraid to take the tough shots. He's getting open, working within the flow of the offense. Heck, he's been the flow of this offense, and he's having a great night so far.
That free throw, no good. And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions.
Rockets on offense. They're on a 14-6 run. Harden outside. Now here's Paul, who's got 19. And Houston again with the bucket.
And what a great start to the second half. They've hit everything they've looked at thus far.
Iguodala kicks to Young. Now the pass to McCaw from the arc. And again, it's the Warriors missing. All up top. He's covered by Livingston. Pass to Harden. Screen by Mbah-a-Moute. Harden kicks to Mbah-a-Moute. Over in the corner, Paul. But they'll get another chance. Tucker, the pass to Harden for the tie. Green with the rebound. Green's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Over to the left wing. Green, the screen. Here's McCaw. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
The Warriors have shot 67% from the line, going 6 of 9.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws. So those are numbers you'll be happy with.
First free throw is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Rockets trail by 5. Harden kicks to Paul. Back to Harden. And Mbah-a-Moute with it, and it's Iguodala picking him up. He was all alone on that one. Paul's got 5 points in the quarter.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency.
Green, the screen. Here's Young, and the jam by Nick Young.
Did you see the
the screen that was set for him, I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Oh, yeah, incredible teamwork there. A play you perfect only by practicing it until you're blue in the face.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
One shot.
Free throw good, James Harden. Golden State's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Livingston passes to McCaw. Back to Livingston. 5 on the clock. Green, the screen. And here's Iguodala outside. It doesn't go for him. The Rockets go the other way with it.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Now here's Paul. Not a lot of room. It's over Livingston. And too long on the shot.
Yeah, and the height disadvantage there forced them into a really tough shot. Tried to fade away, but just couldn't pull it off.
And Young, here we go. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
And Nick Young loves scoring and lightheartedly jokes about his defense.
Oh, yeah, we always want players to be so serious about the game. There's a flip side to that. A teammate like Young who comes in every day with a smile on his face, it can lighten the mood in the locker room.
Gordon's checked in for Houston. That's good from Young.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
For the three, they get it back. Warriors leading by 4. Green dishes to Iguodala. Here's McCaw. His three-pointers off the mark.
Now, this has just been a bad shooting game, a horrible shooting game for him.
Nene, the screen. And Tucker kicks to Paul. Back to Tucker. Here's McCaw. He's got 7 to the wing right side. Now here's Livingston, defended by Paul. Taken away by Nene.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Two shots.
First free throw is good.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Both free throws good from Paul. The Warriors leading. Now Livingston, 5 points in the game. Young left side, pass to McCaw. From deep, it's rebounded by Houston. And Ba'amute's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. For the tie, Nene kicks it to Tucker. Houston moving it around. Nene with the screen on Green. Shot clock at 5. Tries from 10. Goes back up. And Nene with the lay-in. Good. Nene's got it all tied up now for the Rockets.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
Durant's checked in for the Warriors. Curry comes in for Patrick McCaw. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Curry passes to Livingston. Green, the screen. They set the pick. Livingston dishes to Curry. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston. Curry's got 8 points.
Confidence from that deep. Come on, man. Unmatchable. That's Steph Curry.
Outside Gordon. And Tucker kicks to Mbah a Moute. On the wing, Eric Gordon. The three. Green with the rebound. Warriors leading by 3. To the paint, here's Durant. Banked in off the glass. Durant's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Then what is crazy is that it doesn't even look like it's hard for Durant out there. It's like he's bored with dismantling every defense he sees.
Gordon a screen. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Durant. Paul passes to Mbah a Moute. Gordon for 3. That doesn't go either for Gordon.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones. And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Mbah a Moute can't get it to go.
No reason he couldn't have taken more time and finished that one off. Disappointing miss for sure.
Curry outside. Rebounded by Tucker. Tucker's got his 3rd rebound tonight. He kicks to Gordon. He feeds it to Capella. Gordon a screen. Capella dishes to Paul. Over in the corner, Mbah a Moute. The Rockets with another miss. Warriors leading by 7. Green with the ball. And guarded by Capella. Elbow shot. Durant with another miss.
Something affected him on that shot, and it wasn't the defense.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
4th foul of the game for him. He's starting to get into that danger zone.
And you knew after the big decision to come to Golden State from Oklahoma City that Kevin Durant would feel some heat from fans around the league. And overall, he did a good job, I thought, C-Webb, of tuning it out. And he had an incredible year, his first year with the Warriors.
You're right, Kevin. And fans can hate the fact he joined a great team, but it clearly was the right move for him. I mean, look at these numbers. A career year in so many categories. Field goal percentage, blocks, rebounds. I mean, he just played well last year.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Golden State. Thompson comes in for Shaun Livingston. Houston also making some changes. Anderson comes in for Mbah a Moute. And Trevor Ariza subbed in for P.J. Tucker. The Warriors shooting 37% so far in the 3rd quarter. And they're not satisfied with this lack of offensive execution. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Durant against Anderson. Again, Durant missing. Ariza with it. Kicks it to Paul. From deep 3-point range. Misses there. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Warriors lead by 5. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the 4th quarter. Next. Now let's listen in to head coach Steve Kerr.
Get a couple stops, we get a couple runouts. get into our flow. All right? Keep the ball moving. Keep the intensity.
Steve Kerr asking his guys just to, keep up the pace, play unselfishly, basically be yourself, stay, guys, stay in character.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what this team is capable of. Just looking for a couple of plays to really kind of kickstart that engine and give them that little sustainable groove.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Gordon and Ariza are on the wings. Anderson is down low with Capella. And it's Paul in at the point.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Goes up on the wing. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. They've led by as many as 14 points. Curry kicks to Durant. Some nice passing by Golden State here. This one for three. Another three for Golden State.
D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Gordon kicks to Paul. Shoots over Curry. And the rejection by Curry. Warriors leading by 11. Thompson passes to Curry. Picked by Pachulia. A floater. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Sometimes with the amount of weapons that this team has, players have the tendency to defer. But Curry is at his best when he's aggressive and aggressive early. Took some time to realize that last season, but it clicked. He is still the engine that powers the offense.
One shot. One shot.
And with Curry and the team being better when he is aggressive, C-Webb, he is such a great passer, but space just opens up for everyone when he is in attack mode.
Well, look, for a superstar, it's really tough to find your balance, when to take over, when to initiate, when to defer. And they're learning that. But given how hot Curry can get and how he can win a game early, you want him, even as a point guard, to look for his points early.
Now here's Thompson following the shot by Chris Paul. Iguodala dishes to Curry. Iguodala setting the pick for Durant. Over Ariza. No good from Durant.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Now here's Gordon. Back to Paul. Capella sets a screen for Paul. Here's Gordon. And that time, also a missed shot.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Nailed from three-point land.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from three-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And last season, a big one for Curry in the record book department. I mean, continued his march up the all-time three-made list. I mean, this is just incredible. When you also set the record for most threes in a game with 13, it was 12. The record he shared with Kobe and Donyell Marshall.
And with Curry hitting 13 threes in a game to set the record, honestly, you just knew it would be a matter of time, C-Webb. He had flirted with that record so many times before.
Yeah, and one reason why he didn't get it is because usually in those games when he makes that many threes, he's sitting in the fourth quarter because his team is blowing another team out. I mean, it happened in the game after Curry went 0 for 10 from the three-point line in a loss. You gotta love Curry's heart. Payback.
And the Rockets making a change here. Harden's checked in. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Back to Paul to the right side. And here's Anderson from the arc. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 8th assist in the game. Picked by Pachulia. Durant kicks to Thompson. Pachulia sets a screen for Thompson. Back to Durant. 6 on the shot clock. Picked by Pachulia. Fires the 3. No good from Durant. Rockets trail by 14. Ariza outside. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Trevor Ariza, the veteran out of UCLA, he still gives you a little bit of everything on the wing. He's great in transition. He can hit shots from anywhere, but, you know, he's always been a leader.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And with Ariza, you think back to when he was a young player finding his way in this NBA out of UCLA, and Kobe took him under his wing when they played together for the Lakers, and now he is paying it forward. He's helping young players.
Yeah, he has a great work ethic instilled in him from with his time with Kobe. He's always been a leader. He knows how things work in this league, and Ariza, he's showing all the younger players on his team the ins and outs of how to succeed.
And how about the career progression of Trevor Ariza? You know, he came into this league somewhat as an energy player who, you know, obviously could attack the rim. Now he's one of those guys who's primarily a 3-and-D component.
Curry, good.
Just taking what the defense gives him. Curry's able to run the pick and roll in just such a variety of ways.
Paul passes to Harden. Capella with a screen on Durant. Paul kicks to Ariza. And here's Anderson from the arc, but they'll get another chance.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for them.
Feeds to Iguodala. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Durant's got 3 assists tonight.
Oh, that's the kind of basketball Durant wants to play. Moving the ball, finding the open man. I mean, it makes everything easier offensively.
For Ariza, his first few years in the NBA, over half his shots came within a few feet of the rim. Greg, now over 2/3 of his shots are from beyond the arc.
And that's just how it goes for some players in the NBA. Ariza still, he has some bursts to finish at the rim, but has turned himself into a deep threat, and he's always been a presence with his defense as well.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
Free throw drops for Harden. And both free throws good for James Harden.
Well, in just a few years, it's safe to say Steve Kerr is one of the most respected coaches in the NBA.
Durant dishes to Curry. Thompson outside. Golden State moving it around. And that one's good. Durant.
And Durant just makes the game look so simple when he's pulling up from behind the arc.
So it's the Rockets now, trailing by 17. And for Kerr, rare is it to see someone jumping from the commentator booth into being one of the top coaches in the NBA.
Well, we all knew that Steve had a great mind for basketball, so it isn't surprising to see his success. It's just rare to see a coach have this much success so quickly. I mean, it seems like he's making coaching look easy.
Now, when Durant came to Golden State, everyone wondered how it would impact Klay and his touches. Klay said that he wouldn't lose any touches, and you know what? He was right. He was dead on. C-Webb still got roughly the same amount of shots before and after the change.
Yeah, Kevin, all the guys did. I mean, it just shows you how this team played together and that their chemistry was so great. And with Klay, he's the type of guy, he's never going to just demand the ball. But, however, when he's open, he's going to let it fly regardless of who's on the court. And you have to appreciate his mental fortitude. He blocked everything out last year and just focused on playing the best he could.
And the first one at the line is good.
Several times an All-Star at such a young age, Thompson still improving at every area of his game.
And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. So he picks up just one from the line that time. Rockets trail by 18. Paul outside. Off target from three-point range.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter. Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Well, I'd love to hear his explanation to Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Now here's Paul.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Thompson outside. Green, the screen. There's the pick. Thompson passes to Durant. Outside, Green. Back to Durant. Shot clock at 6. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. 34 points for Kevin Durant.
He's taking over the game. Their lead's going to get even bigger if he keeps this up.
Screen by Capella. Capella sets a screen for Ariza. Over in the corner, Paul. Durant kicks to Pachulia. Second shot opportunity. Good on the jump shot. And that's 15 points for Steph Curry.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
Paul dishes to Harden. That's tipped. Capella, the pass to Paul. That three off the mark.
He's the key if they're going to make a run. He's been way off the score.
Curry kicks to Durant. Back to Curry. Picked by Pachulia. Over Paul. Misses off the left iron. Rockets trail by 20. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. Harden dishes to Ariza. Curry against Paul. Anderson the screen. Over in the corner, Paul. Another miss by Houston.
Hard to tell if he's just lacking energy in the second half, but it does not look like he's himself.
Sinks the three-pointer.
You have to respect everything that Durant can do on the floor. You have to live with it. I mean, when he knocks down that pull-up jumper, crazy.
And here's Harden following the three from Kevin Durant. Looking to end the run. And it's Durant with the rebound. Durant's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
He's been unlucky this half after lighting up the perimeter in the first half.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Harden with it. Picked up by Thompson. Capella kicks to Ariza. Good on the triple. Ariza's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Ariza just totally broke down the defense, exploiting any space they gave him off that pass.
The screen from Thompson. Three-pointer. The shot, no good. And the Rockets take it the other way. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Here's Harden. Klay Thompson grabs the miss. And it's the Warriors' ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Inside, here's Green. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Timeout called, the Rockets. As competitive a guy as Draymond Green is, sometimes he can get in his own way. There's no doubt about that. Not entirely his fault. The calls don't seem to fall in his favor a lot because he is so physical, and perhaps, Chris, because of his reputation. We don't even need to go into his natural shooting motion.
Yeah, you mean with the leg, but with Draymond, that just comes with the territory. He presses buttons of refs and opposing players, and sometimes with the fans. Yeah, he'll lose out on calls, but at the end of the day, he's a guy that everybody in the league hates, but would want on their team.
Different look here for the Warriors. David West, he's checked in for Draymond Green. Young comes in for Kevin Durant. McCaw, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And then for Houston, Nene, he's checked in for Capella. Bahamute comes in for Anderson. And it's P.J. Tucker in for Trevor Ariza. Harden, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, love the attitude he's playing with here in the second half. Going strong to the hoop and getting to the free throw line.
And every player out there has a story about falling in love with the game. Chris, when did you fall in love with basketball? And what was it like playing basketball as a kid?
Well, it's so hard to remember when you first fall in love with basketball. There's so many great moments and great stories that you hear. But probably playing on the playground and seeing all the guys laughing and hearing the music and hearing the guys say check up at next game and smelling the sweat and seeing guys play physical. That's probably what it was. And then being able to play at a great gym called St. Cecilia in Detroit and then watch all the other players that played before us come in, the Isaiahs, Magic Johnson, Spencer Haywood, Terry Durant. You get to watch these guys play. Derek Coleman, Steve Smith. I could go on all day. Mark Makins, Terry Mills. I could just keep going. It was so fun watching these guys play. So to me, I fell in love with it as a kid, but every instance, every memory that I have made me fall in love with it that much more. How can you not fall in love with the greatest game ever played?
Well said. Now, here's Thompson. Green, the screen. Curry passes to Green. Golden State moving the ball around. Here's Durant. And it's off the back rim. No good. Rockets shooting a pretty low, 34% thus far. Harden kicks to Paul. Anderson with the screen for Paul. He dishes it to Capella. Anderson inside, guarded by Curry. And Anderson slams it in.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Now, here's Green. Back to Thompson. Passes it to Curry. Picked by Pachulia. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Thompson. Thompson's got 5 assists tonight.
Oh, and fantastic vision. Thompson quickly locates the open man.
Paul against Curry. Paul dishes to Harden. Tries from 16. He doesn't hit that one. Good D by Thompson. Warriors leading by 23.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
When you consider the difference in their field goal percentages, the other team has to be happy that this wasn't a bigger loss. This team was on fire.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always frustrating when you can't throw a rock on the ground and the other guys just can't seem to miss.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Kevin Durant.
Just the scoring alone. It's a fantastic game for him. He was just going over, around, through the defense, all day long.
And after Kevin Durant made his decision to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder, he instantly became one of the most polarizing players, it seemed, Greg, in the NBA.
Listen, Kevin Durant has always been a star in this league, but now he's become the story. It's something that he can handle but doesn't try to seek out. Was able to prove all the naysayers wrong and just having another amazing season.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good.
And the two-time league MVP, Steph Curry, one of only 2 active guys to win the MVP more than once in well over a decade.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Young's checked in for Green, and it's Patrick McCaw in for Thompson. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. And Bahamute comes in for Anderson. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Gordon in for James Harden. Now here's Paul. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Yeah, the scoring, I mean, it's not coming easy for him. You have to get into a little rhythm, but that's when you can make the extra pass, play the role of the facilitator.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The pass to McCaw. Fires for 3. Dishes it to Pachulia. And Curry has it in the corner. Picked by Pachulia. Curry kicks to McCaw. Young outside, so we see the Warriors taking the game here. They poured it on tonight, dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much with Kevin Durant. Gave a slow start for you offensively, but you were able to stay aggressive. How do you keep that mentality as a great scorer?
Well, you got to keep shooting, no matter what happens. So it's easy to, play well throughout the game when you're making shots, but when you're missing, you got to get your mind right, and that's what I tried to do, is just stay aggressive.
And it sure showed out there. Thank you very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.